I think you had asked me the question. You said, have you written a book? I said, I remember I said, Kelly, it's funny you should ask that question, because at that time I had did a workshop for one of the cable companies here in Texas, and they asked the same thing. They said, so Kevin, we're going to bring you in to train our sales team on networking and perfecting the elevator pitch. And so, but before we bring you in, we want to order 200 copies of your book. I was like, because this is us on a Zoom. I said, I don't have a book per se. I said, but I can recommend one. I'm sure it can help your team. And I gave her the name of that book, Kelly. And I'm sitting on Zoom and I'm watching them go to this person's website, spend almost close to $3,000 on 200 copies of this person's book. And I said to myself, now this is me having this internal message. You can't let that happen again. Right. And so when I said, when I said to you, I said, Kelly, that's funny. You should say that. And I shared that story. And I said, I don't even know where to start. She said, well, can I make a suggestion? I said, sure, Kelly, what's your suggestion? Well, you can start by paying me. I said, you know what? That's a good start.